All right, on this video, we are heading into some of the more quote-unquote tough problems with word problems. But again, if you understand the language, it can be a lot easier. So let's take a look at the first one. This is not word problems yet. We're not there yet. We're still at writing equations of lines. So again, in the beginning, they start giving you the slope and intercept, and they're basically baby stepping you until to the toughest problem, which is the 2 points, which was the last problem in the last video. All right. But now you're going to be given the 2 points in a graph. In this case, it's the easier version. They're giving you the y-intercept and another point. So look, if you know that it says write an equation of a line, you can immediately write the formula, the secret formula with the slope and the y-intercept. It's a very unsecret formula, but whatever. It's a really cool formula because all you need is the slope and the y-intercept. Well, we have one. Check it out. We have the y-intercept. The y-intercept is at 1. So we can write that underneath the b. And I'll write it in red. Okay, plus, leave the x, leave the y. They are part of the equation. They must come with the equation. All we need is the slope. Well, let's walk from one point to the next. Okay, change in y over the change in x. We are going to walk down 2 and over to the right 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we went down 2 and in the positive direction 5. So the answer is negative 2/5 x, because negative divided by positive is negative, plus 1. And that is the equation of that line. Now you could actually make it harder for yourself if you wanted to. You could grab the 2 points and 0, 1, and actually, wow, let's try that again. I think I wrote a comma and a 1 in the same spot. Here we go. There we go. Negative 5, 3. And you could use all the methods that we did before, but that's a lot of work. I highly suggest just using the M and the B formula. Next one, find an equation for the line below. So, oh my gosh, you're given a line and you're given 2 points and you're thinking, cool, I'll just grab the y. Oh, crap. You're not exactly sure where that actually cuts across the y-axis. So now you really do have to use the point method. Okay, so name this point. This point is 1, negative 4. And this point is negative 5, negative 1. It looks like, right? Negative 5, negative 1. Yeah. Okay, so again, I'm going to use the 2 different formulas. The first one, y equals mx plus b. We have neither the m or the b, but we have 2 points, which means we can find the m. So we go over here and we find the m. M is equal to y2 minus y1. I'm going to call this y2, x2, x1. Okay, over x2 minus x1. And we get negative 3 over 6, or negative 1/2. So now we could have also counted that, by the way. We could have gone up 3 and over to the left 6, or up 3 to the left 6, or down 3 to the right 6, and you would have gotten still negative 1/2. All right, so now we got that. Let's plug it in. Let's plug in the slope, and we're like, yay, we're halfway there. Oh, all we need is B now. Okay, all you need is B. All right, how are we going to get the B? Well, we have an X and a Y. We have 2 points that are solutions. They are on this line. Which one are we going to plug in as bucket? I don't know which one to plug in. Plug in either one. It doesn't matter. Just plug in a point. Let's plug in negative 4 equals, ooh, so many colors. It's so much fun. Okay, negative 4 and 1. That seems easy enough, right? Plus B. There we go. Okay, 1 times anything is just that anything. Okay, I'm going to have to erase my little slope formula here. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're just going to continue. -4 is equal to -1/2 plus b. We can solve for b, add 1/2 to both sides. And I don't think you need to go multiply everything by the common denominator because look, you can do 4 minus 1/2. You got 4 cookies and you take away a half. You're left with 3.5 cookies. Okay, equals b. You can change that to a simple fraction by going 2 times 3 plus 1. And you will get, I'm going this way because I ran out of room, 7/2. So the answer is going to be y is equal to -1/2 x, because we just plugged in our slope, plus 7/2. And we plug in our b. Here's our b, here's our slope. Yeah. All right. Using my method, y2, and I'll use the other point, -1, y1. Remember my formula? Sorry, I probably should write it. Bad form, Miss Baca, bad form. Here we go. We're going to go y minus y1 equals m times x minus x. All right, so here we go. Y minus, I'm going to use that same point there, the x1, y1. Slope, remember, I already figured out the slope. It was -1/2. Okay, times x minus x1, which is -5. There's a second parentheses there. You see that? All right, so we get y plus 1 equals -1/2 x distributing plus, that's a 5, right? -5/2. Agreed? All right, subtract 1 from both sides and you get y. No, we don't. Here we go. We get y is equal to -1/2 x, and we're going to add 1 to this. Okay, I mean subtract 1, but we're going to add it because it's subtract 2 over 2, right? And what do you get? Same denominator, combine the tops, -7/2. And presto, it is the same. Check it out. Same one. 2 different ways. Choose your poison, people. Choose your poison. All right, let's take a look. It says, write an equation of vertical and horizontal lines through a given point. This is one that almost everybody misses after they learn it because they can't remember how to remember it. Kind of like you do with fractions. Everybody knows how to add fractions once somebody reminds you with one problem. But if they don't remind you, you're like, oh crap, what was that? I don't remember how to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. It says write equations for the horizontal and vertical lines passing through -3, -6. Here is -3, -6. This is the point -3, -6. It's asking you for what is the name of the horizontal line and the vertical line that goes through that point. Okay, y'all, I'm going to show you a very cool, tricky way to do this that is so easy. And if you remember to do it, I promise you, you will never answer one of these questions wrong again. Okay, here's the trick. You ready? On a horizontal and vertical line. Here's your vertical line. Name 3 points on that line. Any 3 points. Just name them. Ready? -3, 0. There it is. We could name the point they gave us. -3, 6. Ooh, that's kind of looks like it's a 0. Okay, how about -3, 1? Do you see a pattern here? What do you notice? X is always equal to -3. Remember, vertical lines are x's, okay? Because x stays the same and y goes up and down. All right, let's do the horizontal line here. Name 3 points, any 3 points. Okay, well, let's name -3, -6, because they gave us that one, right? How about 0, -6? Ooh, 1, -6. Look what's happened here. You can start to see the pattern. Y is always equal to -6. And that's the simplest way to do it. Some people just remember it, but I tell you what, sometimes if you just remember it, you don't remember. I'm just saying it. I've seen it happen so many times. All right, now we're getting into these word problems. Okay, it says writing and evaluating a function that models a real-world situation, advanced. All right, it's basically going to be giving you a situation that's linear because we're working on lines. Okay, so remember that there's in the form y equals mx plus b. There's a couple really important words that go with these. B, you will associate that with the word start. They will tell you that you start at or has at the beginning. Basically, this is the starting point. If they tell you that somebody buys 2 dogs every year, but they have 10 dogs to begin with, that's the beginning, okay? That's what you start with. This is the slope. Well, that's really nice and dandy, but when you think of slope, you're thinking like ski, ski people. Like, oh, okay, here's your little ski guy. Okay, maybe you guys don't ski anymore. I don't know, but whatever. You get the point, right? It's going down a slope. This is our concept of slope, is the inclination, like an angle. We're talking about like, ooh, how steep is that slope? That's really great. But in our brains, what it really is talking about, like, is what how would I say it? Let me get this right. What we're really interpreting is a rate of change mentally. When we have a high slope, we are going down faster than we're going over. When we have a shallow slope, we're going down very little and we're going over a long way. Okay, so this M is really associated with the word rate of change, sometimes speed, okay? Mostly rate of change, all right? You need to know this because it's going to help you write your formula. So let's take a look. It says owners of a recreation area are filling a small pond with water. Okay, they are adding water at a rate, see the word rate of, and rate always comes with 2 measurements, 2 units, liters per minute, miles per hour, something. It's always one measurement over another measurement, okay? There are 700 liters in the pond to start. See the word start? All right. So now we know our rate, or our M, okay? A lot of times they're going to use the letter R. Just know that the letter R is really the letter M in a line, and it's going to be 28. All right, and 700 is your starting point. So if we're going to write this to begin with, okay, we would be replacing M with 28 and 700 to the B. But hang on. It says let W represent the total amount of water in the pool, and T represent the total of minutes that water has been added. Okay, so it doesn't want us to use Y and X. It wants us to use W and T. Well, which one is which? Okay, well, think about it. You're going to add 28 per minute, and T represents the total minutes. Those two are going to go together, and the W represents the total. So it's going to be the total is 28T plus 700 mx plus b. Write an equation relating W to T. By the way, these sound like fancy words, relating W to T. If you have an equation and you have 2 variables, they're related. Okay, that's just a relationship. It's telling you W is take 28 times T and add 700. Okay, and then it says, then use this equation to find the total amount of water after 12 minutes. So now they're telling you T is equal to 12. So you substitute that in. W equals 28 times 12 plus 700. And you solve, and you will get it. I don't know what that is. I don't have a calculator right now. You could sit there and honestly, I highly recommend you just have a calculator handy so you don't have to do this. 336 plus 700, it would be 1036, I think. I mean, I just did that by my hand real quick. Make sure you write the units. Otherwise, you might get it wrong, and that would suck. All right, how many liters? Okay, W represents the total amount of, they always tell you the units, by the way. There it is, in liters. Okay, moving on. Writing an equation and drawing its graph. Okay, so basically it's going to be what we just had, but now we get to draw a graph. One is driving on the highway. He begins, see the word begin? Think, okay, with 12 gallons of gas in his car. The car uses up 1 gallon of gas every 25 miles. Okay, so now you are getting a rate. Okay, 1 gallon of gas for every 25 miles. Let G represent the number of gallons of gas he has left in his tank. Okay, so G is going to represent the gallons. D is going to represent the total distance he has traveled. Okay, write a relation G to D. All right, so we are going to say, oh, sorry, hang on. I have to answer.